She announced, "I'm inviting my ex to our wedding. Grow up about it during planning." I said, "That's perfectly fine." Then I invited his wife to be my plus one. She uninvited him when she learned they'd reconciled. The wife thanked me for saving their marriage. I, 30 male, called off my wedding 3 weeks before the date, and honestly, I should have done it months ago when she first showed me who she really was. Been with Sienna, 28, for 3 years, engaged for 1. She was always confident, which I liked. But during wedding planning, confidence morphed into something else entirely. 2 months ago, we're going over the guest list. She casually drops, "Oh, I'm inviting Nolan." Nolan's her ex. They dated for 4 years, broke up 3 years ago when she caught him emotionally cheating with a coworker, Heather. He married Heather a year later. Me, your ex? Why? We're still friends, we grab coffee sometimes. This was news to me. 3 years together and she never mentioned these coffee dates. Me, I'm not comfortable with your ex at our wedding. Seriously? Grow up about it, Vincent. It was years ago, I'm over it. If you're over it, why do you need him there? Because he's part of my journey. He shaped who I am. Don't be so insecure. It's not insecurity, it's boundaries. She laughed, actually laughed. Boundaries? Please. You're jealous of ancient history. Nolan's coming. Deal with it. The way she dismissed me, the contempt in her voice, that should have been my exit. But I sat there thinking, me, you know what? You're right. That's perfectly fine. She looked surprised but pleased. See? Maturity. I knew you'd come around. That night, I did some investigating. Found Nolan on social media. Status, separated. Posts about finding himself and new chapters. Comments from friends supporting him through his difficult time. Found Heather too. Her last post was 3 months old. Sometimes love isn't enough when trust is broken. Interesting. Next day, I reached out to Heather through Instagram. Simple message. "Hi, I'm Vincent, Sienna's fiancé. This might seem strange, but I wanted to extend a personal invitation to our wedding. I know you and Nolan are separated, but you're still technically family to someone Sienna considers a close friend. Would love to have you there." She read it. No response for 2 days. Then, "Is Nolan going to be there?" Me. "Sienna invited him, yes. Does she know you're inviting me?" Planning to tell her soon. Wanted to check with you first. Interesting, I'll think about it. A week later, Heather messages me. "I'll come, but I have questions. Can we talk?" We met for coffee. Heather's nothing like I expected. Quiet, thoughtful, tired looking. Heather, "Why did you really invite me?" "Honestly, Sienna insisted on inviting your husband to our wedding, told me to grow up about it. I figured if she can invite whoever she wants, so can I." Heather laughed, but it was bitter. She still hung up on him. Me? What? The coffee dates? Not just coffee. She texts him constantly, tells him he married the wrong person. That's why we're separated. I found the messages. My stomach dropped. Heather showed me screenshots. Sienna telling Nolan she missed him. Nolan saying he made a mistake. Sienna saying, "After my wedding, things will be different." After the wedding? My theory? She wants the wedding, the gifts, the attention. Then she'll have an affair with Nolan, or leave you. But she needs the wedding first. Update 1. So I sat on that information for a few days, processing. Then I made my move. At dinner with Sienna. "Hey, I added someone to the guest list." Bill. Me, Heather, Nolan's wife. She nearly choked on her wine. "What? Why would you do that?" "Well, you said Nolan's part of your journey, Heather's part of his. It's all connected, right?" "They're separated. Still married though. And you told me to grow up about exes at weddings. I'm taking your advice." She was furious. "This is different. You're being petty." Me, "I'm being inclusive. You can invite whoever you want, so can I." "Uninvite her?" "No, you wouldn't uninvite Nolan when I asked. Same rules apply." She stormed out, came back an hour later with a new approach. Tears. "Sienna, you're ruining our wedding. Heather hates me." Me, "Why would she hate you? You said it was ancient history. She's always been jealous of me." Me, "Jealous of what exactly?" She couldn't answer that without admitting to the inappropriate relationship with Nolan. 2 days later, Nolan texts me. We'd never communicated before. "Hey man, heard you invited Heather. That's messed up. My wedding, my guests, just like Sienna said. You're putting me in an awkward position. Nobody's forcing you to come. Sienna wants me there. And I want Heather there. Guess you'll both have to be adults about it. He stopped responding. Then Sienna's mom, Diane, got involved. Called me up. Vincent, sweetheart, this Heather situation needs to be resolved. What situation? You know Sienna and Nolan have history. That's why I'm confused why he's invited. They're friends now. It's healthy. Then it's healthy for me to be friends with Heather. You don't even know her. I know Nolan even less, yet he's invited. She hung up frustrated. Meanwhile, Heather and I started texting. Not about Nolan or Sienna, just normal conversation. She's actually cool, works as a veterinarian, has 2 rescue dogs, makes terrible puns. We became actual friends. Then came the nuclear option from Sienna. She sat me down with a printout. Sienna, look at this venue contract. I'm the primary on it. If you don't uninvite Heather, I'll cancel the whole wedding. Okay, that's it? If you want to cancel our wedding over a guest invitation, that tells me everything. She backpedaled. I don't want to cancel. Just uninvite her. No. Why are you being so stubborn? Why are you? She started a campaign, told all our mutual friends I was trying to humiliate her by inviting her ex's wife. Left out the part about her inviting the ex first. Our friend group started taking sides. Then I played my card, forwarded them all the original save the date list showing Nolan was invited first, with timestamps. The tide turned. Friends started asking Sienna why she needed her ex there so badly. Update 2. Everything imploded spectacularly. Heather called me 3 days ago. I need to tell you something. Nolan and I are trying to work things out. Me? That's great. He admitted everything. The coffee dates, the texts, Sienna promising things would be different after the wedding. He said he got caught up in nostalgia, but realized he was about to throw away his marriage for a fantasy. Good for you guys. He showed me new texts from yesterday. Sienna telling him she's been thinking about their first dance at the wedding. We already have our first dance planned. She met with him as friends. She was planning to request their old song. That was it. I was done. I didn't confront Sienna immediately. Instead, I called the venue. The contract was in her name. But the deposit? I'd paid that. $3,000 non-refundable. I couldn't cancel, but I could inform them that I would not be attending my own wedding and they should contact the primary contract holder about any changes. Then I called the catering. That was in my name. Cancelled. Got back 70% of my deposit. The photographer? My cousin. Told him the situation. He said he'd still show up if Sienna wanted, but he'd be documenting a very different event. The DJ? My buddy from college. He laughed when I told him, bro, I never liked her anyway. Cancel away. Then I went to our apartment, lease in my name. She moved in with me and packed all her stuff while she was at work. Neat, organized, everything in boxes in the living room. She came home to me sitting calmly on the couch. Sienna, what's all this? Me your things. Wedding's off. What? You can't just cancel our wedding. I didn't. You did when you planned to dance with your ex to your song at our wedding. Her face went white. How did you? Heather, they're reconciling, by the way. Thanks to you showing your true colors. This is insane. We're getting married in a week. No, we're not. I've canceled everything in my name. The venue is your problem. She tried tears. Vincent, please, I love you. You love the idea of a wedding. Not me. I'm just the guy funding your party where you plan to flirt with your ex. It wasn't like that. Your texts say otherwise. She switched to anger. You went through my texts? Me Nolan showed them to Heather. Heather showed them to me. Your ex chose his marriage over you. That broke her. She realized Nolan had betrayed her for his wife. He promised? Promised what? To leave his wife after you were safely married to me? Silence. That was exactly it. Me, you need to leave. Now. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem. Maybe Nolan's couch? Oh wait, he's working on his marriage. She called her mom. Diane arrived within an hour, glaring at me. You're really doing this? A week before the wedding? Your daughter was planning an emotional affair with her ex starting at our reception. Yeah, I'm really doing this. You have no proof. I showed her one text. Just one. Sienna to Nolan. After I'm married, Vincent won't be as attentive. We can spend more time together. Diane's face changed. She looked at Sienna. Is this real? Sienna couldn't deny it. They left with her boxes. Final update. The wedding day came and went. Sienna still held the venue because she couldn't get any refund. From what I heard through mutual friends, she tried to turn it into a celebration of independence party. 12 people showed up. The venue was set for 150. My photographer cousin went, with my blessing, and sent me photos. Sienna in her wedding dress, crying at the head table. The dance floor empty. Nolan and Heather weren't there. They were at a marriage counseling retreat that weekend. Speaking of them, I got a message from Heather last week. Vincent, I wanted to thank you. When you invited me to your wedding, it forced everything into the open. Nolan had to confront what he was doing. He realized he was chasing a fantasy and about to lose reality. We're not perfect, but we're working on us. You saved my marriage by refusing to be a doormat in yours. Nolan even reached out. Hey man, I owe you an apology. I got caught up in the past. Sienna made me feel like I was 25 again, before responsibilities and real life. But when I saw Heather was invited to your wedding, it hit me. I was about to ruin 2 marriages for an ego boost. Thanks for the wake-up call. Me. Just glad you figured it out before it was too late. As for Sienna, she's been on a smear campaign, telling everyone I'm manipulative and planned this whole thing. But here's the thing. The texts exist. The timeline is clear. She invited her ex first, refused to uninvite him, and was planning to use our wedding as a launching pad for an affair. Her own bridesmaid, Carly, reached out to me. Vincent, I'm sorry I didn't say anything sooner. She'd been talking about Nolan for months. How you were safe, but Nolan was exciting. I should have warned you. Me, not your responsibility. I figured it out. The financial hit? Lost about $8,000 in deposits and non-refundable items. But divorce would have cost way more. The emotional hit? Yeah, it hurt. 3 years gone. But better than 30 years with someone who was using me as a placeholder. I'm in therapy now, working through trust issues. My therapist asked what I learned. That when someone tells you to grow up about your boundaries, they're telling you your feelings don't matter to them. And inviting Heather? Honestly, started as petty revenge, but it ended up exposing the truth. If Sienna had nothing to hide, Heather being there wouldn't have mattered. My family has been supportive. My mom said, when she demanded you accept her ex at your wedding, she was testing how much disrespect you'd tolerate. You failed her test by having self-respect. Good. The plot twist? Heather and I became genuine friends through this. Not romantic, she's working on her marriage and I'm working on myself, but we text memes to each other and she sends me pictures of her rescue dogs. Weird how things work out. Last I heard, Sienna's living with her parents, still posting cryptic quotes about betrayal and fake love on social media. Still single, Nolan blocked her on everything after reconciling with Heather. Someone asked if I regret how it went down. No, I regret not seeing the red flags sooner. When your partner dismisses your concerns about their ex with "grow up," they're not ready for marriage. When they threaten to cancel your wedding to get their way, they're showing you who they are. The wedding industry has a term, bridezilla. But nobody talks about the emotional cheater who uses their wedding as a safety net while planning their next relationship. Dodge that bullet. Even if it cost me $8,000 and a venue full of empty chairs. Worth every penny to not be married to someone who was planning her affair at our reception.